Depending on who we ask, the Academy of Advanced Learning sounds like two different schools.
You have 30 seconds.
In July, we visited the charter school in Aurora, which touted a plan to have in-person learning safely. This was the 5th week of summer classes, and at the time, Principal Linda August told us that in addition to strict cleaning protocols, with the exception of kindergarten, classes would be split up. One group with the teacher, the other group in the room next door, learning from that same teacher through Zoom. The idea was for COVID containment.
For most of our grade levels, we have them in groups of 10, and if something happens with one student, then we can trace that better.
Since our visit in July, Principal August has quit, along with 2 assistant principals, including Mary Higgins.
It made me highly uncomfortable, to the point which is why I walked.
Higgins says our initial visit was staged by Mike Miles, the CEO of Third Future Schools, the charter school network governing the Academy of Advanced Learning.
With COVID, we weren't even following through with all the measures that he claimed we were doing for the safety of our students and our staff.
Higgins says she was instructed to mislead parents about having a new HVAC system, about the number of kids capped in each room, and about how often the school was being sanitized.
And that the bathroom would be cleaned every hour on the hour. I never once saw a cleaning staff member during the school day. I only saw them come in the evenings. I couldn't stand as a leader, as a face of the organization anymore, knowing that we weren't practicing what we preached.
3 weeks into the school year, 5 teachers also quit, including Corbin Smith.
To be entirely honest, I didn't think it was good to have the news in there in the first place. I thought what we were doing was irresponsible.
Smith said classes were split up, but some rooms had up to 20 kids, not 10.
I think it's a bait and switch, really.
And those kids who were supposed to be separated learning through Zoom, Higgins says they were primarily left alone, despite promises from Miles.
And he said learning coaches were monitoring. Well, it was one learning coach for me for about 8 classrooms. So the majority of the day, students were unsupervised.
In addition, both Higgins and Smith say working here was toxic.
Yeah, I would absolutely use the word abusive.
Higgins says she was forced to work 20-hour days to get the school COVID ready for the fall.
Mike did not hire enough people, so he had us doing everything. I mean, I learned very quickly my role was a catch-all.
But this is a high-achieving school, recognized with awards from the state and the private sector.
For people to say that it's not safe, that's simply not true.
CEO Mike Miles did not want to talk to us on camera, but he did by phone.
Please go by the school and check it out for yourself.
So we did.
We've purchased 80,000 additional square feet to spread out.
Zach Craddock is the director of schools and showed us around for our second visit.
Social distancing in the classroom.
Desks being sanitized and separated kids in the common area or in rooms next door with supervision.
Learning coaches supporting out here as well. Teachers in the classroom.
Craddock did say classes up to 2nd grade expanded to have more kids together than 10. But otherwise, he says this school is still safe.
Our protocols have stayed the same. We followed all the guidance from CDC, APS, Tri-County Health, and CDE. Nothing has changed.
Smith remains skeptical.
Actually, no, it's not safe. It's dangerous.
We are very transparent, very open. Anybody can come by with an appointment and book. The kids would say if things were not safe, but the real proof is in the pudding.
Miles says since fall semester started, the Academy of Advanced Learning has had only 2 confirmed cases of COVID. And with regards to the allegations of verbal abuse,
I think anybody who knows me knows that I'm not a yeller. I don't do that.
Tara Brophy disagrees.
He's yelled at me personally, so I know he's a yeller.
She sends 2 kids to that school and says Miles has been abusive to her and her students.
I've seen him talk to other parents and students and teachers with a level of disrespect that's not okay.
I've heard him ask if a student had a disability because she didn't speak English. Really really rough things.
They were terrified and scared of him. I have many students that would ask, is Mr. Miles here today? And it wasn't a good thing. It wasn't because they wanted to see him. It was because they were truly scared of him.
Brophy adds that communication is bad and she has no idea what's going on inside the building.
What are we doing? I mean, we just keep replacing teachers, but nobody's addressing the root of the problem. Why are these teachers quitting?
Depends on who you ask.
It wasn't real. It felt like we were on stage pretending what could be, but in reality, that's not how it was going to play out.
When there's a new situation, and COVID is new for everybody, they have to determine whether or not they want to work in a school that is in person.
I'm hopeful that some good will come of it, that we're not just quitting for nothing, that something good will come out of it for these kids.
In Aurora, Nelson Garcia, 9 News.